everyone, welcome you all to my YouTube channel. I am Megha. If you had not subscribed to my channel, please do that and hit the bell icon to get the updates. So guys, today we will learn about development of embryo in dicot and monocot plant. This is the part 6 of sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Just have a recap first. These all are the major events which takes place after fertilization. So what are those? Primary endosperm nucleus develops and form endosperm. There are three types of endosperm: nuclear, cellular and alluvial. This already I had taught you. Just go to my previous lesson and learn about them. Zygote get converted into embryo, ovule in future forms seeds, whereas ovary forms the fruit. Okay, learn them, very important for you. Now move on. This is ovary, isn't it? Ovary contains ovule, and this is anatropous type of ovule. You know about the different types of ovule now. So this is the most common, which is inverted upside down. It is anatropous type of ovule, and in this figure you can see that zygote gets converted into embryo, nucleus is used up. If it is persist, then such seeds are called perispermic seeds. Example: beetroot and black pepper. Ovary forms fruit, ovules forms seed. Antipodal cells, your synergids gets degenerated. Primary endosperm nucleus forms the endosperm. So this step we have seen. Now today we will learn how this zygote gets converted into an embryo. Okay. So before starting, just see one picture here. This is what we call ovule, anatropous type of ovule. And this is the chaliceal end. This one is the micropylar end. Okay. In the center you can see this is the embryo. This is globular embryo because it looks like a globe. So this is your globular embryo. Globular embryo, okay. Now the main thing is that the embryo is growing towards the chaliceal end, isn't it? The embryo is going towards the chaliceal end, whereas the suspensor lie towards the micropylar end. The main role of the suspensor is to push the embryo so that it reaches the endosperm and takes the nutrition from it, isn't it? This is the main role of this suspensor. Okay. Now let's see and learn in detail about the development of embryo in dicots. In many books you will see all these figures are upside down. So don't worry about that. Just see the ends. It was mentioned over there. Here I had drawn micropylar end. In at the top is the chaliceal end. As in the same way which I had shown you here. This is the micropylar end. This is the chaliceal end. Okay. And the embryo is growing towards the chaliceal end. Are you getting my point? Let's see. This is the zygote. Zygote increase in size. Now it divides mitotically. Transverse division is there. This is how the transverse division takes place, horizontally. Okay, this is a longitudinal division, vertical division, whereas the zygote divides transversely to form two unequal cells. This cell, which is larger in size, is the basal cell, and this one is the terminal cell. Basal cell forms the suspensor. That's why it is also known as suspensor cell. Terminal cell give rise to the formation of embryo. That's why the terminal cell is also considered as the embryonal cell. Okay. Basal cell forms suspensor. Terminal cell forms the embryo. So first focus on the basal cell. Basal cell divides transversely and give rise to 7 to 9 row of cells called suspensor. Isn't it? Basal cell divide transversely and give rise to 7 to 8 cells suspensor. The suspensor cell, the lowermost suspensor is the hausturial cell, whereas the cell which is in contact with the embryo is known as the hypophysis. Okay, the lowermost, which is towards the micropylar end. Okay, this one I am talking of, basal cell. This is the hausturial cell, and the cell which is towards the embryo is known as the hypophysis. The role of this is to make the root apical meristem. It makes the apical meristem of root. Okay, so you can see here this hypophysis undergo longitudinal as well as transverse division and forms row of cells. The row which is in contact with the embryo will form the root cortex, and the row which are in contact with the suspensor will form the root cap and root tip. Okay, so what it is forming? It is forming the root apical meristem. So it is clear to you suspensor role now. Suspensor is formed by the basal cell. Basal cell divide transversely to form 7 to 9 row of suspensor cells. Suspensor cell which is at the base is known as the hausturial cell, whereas which is in contact with this embryo is called hypophysis. This hypophysis will form the root apical meristem. Later on, this suspensor gets degenerated because now there is no role of it. Okay. Now about the terminal cell which forms the embryo. This terminal cell divides longitudinally and transversely to form 4-celled proembryo. It is also called quadrant because there are 4 cells. The cells arrangement is like this: 2 in front, 2 at the back side. Okay. So to make you clear, I had drawn like this. The terminal cell undergo longitudinal and transverse division to make 4-celled proembryo, also called quadrant. This can again divide to form 8-cell proembryo called proembryonal octant. Okay. Now here, after the formation of octant, there is a periclinal division which divide the cell into 2 rows. Outer one, a thin row of cells, inner one, larger cells are present in the inner side and thinner cells are at the periphery sides. Okay. Now the periphery sides जो cells हैं, they will form dermatogen, which later on give rise to the formation of epidermis. Okay. These cells forms dermatogen, and the inner cell mass will form plumule, cotyledon and hypocotyle. Are you getting my point? After the formation of octant, periclinal division goes on. After this division, the cells get divided into 2. Outer layer is there and inner layer is there. Outer layer will form the dermatogen, whereas the inner cells forms the plumule, cotyledon and hypocotyle. Okay, now it is clear. Now at this stage, how many cells are there in the embryo? 16 cells, isn't it? Here 8 cells are there, they divide and form 16-cell proembryo. This embryo is called globular shape embryo, and it has radial symmetry. Okay, it has radial symmetry. Now after the formation of globular shape embryo, uh, plumule, cotyledons and hypocotyl region grow and give rise to heart-shaped embryo. This is what we call a heart-shaped embryo. Okay, this is the root cortex, root tip and the root cap. This is radicle. Radicle is the future root. Plumule is the future shoot. It will form shoot parts. Then this bulging portion are the cotyledons. Cotyledons are the leaf, future leaf. These are the leaf of the embryo which comes first after germination. Okay, cotyledons are the first seed leaf. Okay guys. So as now heart-shaped embryo is formed, now these cotyledons grow, means the cells of these cotyledons grow very fast and they form a horseshoe shaped embryo. I'll show you a horseshoe shaped embryo here. This is a horseshoe shaped embryo. Mature embryo looks like this. These are the cotyledons. This is apical meristem, that is plumule, which will form the shoot, and this is the radicle which forms the root. Okay, this is the seed coat. This is a split open seed. These are the cotyledonary node. At the top you can see this is plumule part. In between plumule and cotyledonary node there is the apicotyl region, and here you can see hypocotyl region between the radicle and the cotyledonary node. Apicotyl and hypocotyl. Apicotyl enlarges the plumule and helps in the formation of shoot, whereas hypocotyl extend and helps in the formation of root. Okay guys, clear? So as we had learnt about the dicot embryo, so how many cotyledons are present? 2 cotyledons. Dicot embryo have 2 cotyledons. What are cotyledons? They are the seed leaf. You know the difference between cotyledon and endosperm? Endosperm give nourishment to the developing embryo, whereas cotyledon give nourishment to the young seedling. Okay, cotyledon have photosynthesis, they can do photosynthesis, whereas endosperm cannot. Okay guys, now move on to the next one, that is the development of embryo in monocots. Till the globular stage, the development is same in monocot embryo as well as in dicot embryo. This is the embryo of corn. Okay, this is the embryo of corn. Let's see how the development takes place in this. As I told you, till the globular stage the development is same, only the difference is in the suspensor. In the dicot embryo you have seen a a column of suspensor is formed like this. Okay, but here the suspensor is not differentiated. Okay, it is not in the form of row. Now what happens I am talking of late globular stage. Okay, this is a late globular stage where you can see at one side the cells grow very fast, rapidly, and they form embryonal axis. Now what is embryonal axis? By this diagram it is clear to you that the part between the axis between the plumule and the radicle, this is what we call embryonal axis. Okay, so here these cells, the cells of embryo divide rapidly and they form what embryonal axis. So here this is the developing axis. Okay, and now what it is? Pseudolum. This pseudolum is also called cotyledon because the main role of pseudolum is to absorb the nutrition from the endosperm and transfer it to the embryo. So this is also called cotyledon, but it is modified cotyledon. Okay, pseudolum is the modified cotyledon and it contains one cotyledon only. Now let's see the diagram of the embryo. Here this plumule, which is the future shoot, is covered by a sheath-like structure that is known as coleoptile. Okay, coleoptile is the sheath of the plumule, whereas coleorhiza is the sheath of the radicle. Radicle is the future root. Okay, so coleorhiza is the sheath of the radicle, coleoptile is the sheath of the plumule. Isn't it? Alright, suspensor get degenerated later on. This is how the development of embryo takes place in monocot. Let's see the arrangement of this embryo in the corn seed. This is the diagram of the corn seed, and you can see here the embryo is placed. This is what? This is scutellum, which transfer the nutrients from the endosperm to the developing embryo. This is the coleorhiza, a sheath covering the radicle, and this one is the coleoptile, a sheath covering the plumule, or we can say shoot meristem. The outer layer is called aileron layer because it is made of protein. Aileron. Okay. Outer layer is called aileron. It contains protein, or you can say it is made up of protein. Whereas here in the center, endosperm is present that contains the starch. Okay, so this is all about the development of embryo in monocots and dicots. I hope the lecture is clear to you. If you have still any query, write it in the comment box. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get the updates. Thank you.